so much easier to read people and get a good feel for who they are and their character when you know exactly who you are.
This is the Basu Lifestyle. Today's episode is all about building the man you aspire to become. The journey of growth, the journey to the superior man, the journey to become the best version of yourself is a lifelong journey. Today, I'm joined by Michael Thomas of Michael Thomas Fit, and we're talking about the different tools that we use to overcome our obstacles, how we're working to become a better version of ourselves, and I hope that you guys get a lot out of this. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, let us know what tools you use to overcome your obstacles and how you're working to build a superior you in the comments below.
And now I see it clearly. And now that I see things so much more clearly, when I'm hiring you, like, I don't waste time firing you anymore.
Yeah, I don't have to go through that whole process because I know exactly what you're going to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much easier to read people and get a good feel for who they are and their character when you know exactly who you are.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I mean?
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're like going through the motions and you're disheveled, how are you going to judge anyone else when you don't even have your own?
Can't. And that's a big issue in society right now, is everybody is searching for their purpose. Why are they here? You know, 9 out of 10 people aren't happy going to work every day. It's a rat race.
And instead of being like, okay, this job isn't where I want to be, let me save more money, let me figure out what I can do on the side a little bit, build up to get into a job I like. It's just like, fuck this, after I get done I'll have a couple drinks.
What do? They destroy themselves.
Yeah.
Right? They basically give up without realizing that they've given up. And I was one of those people for so long, so I understand them. And that's like, one of my guys said to me yesterday, he goes, dude, because he watches my posts and shit, he's like, I feel like when you post, you're fucking talking to me. And I go, it might seem that way. That's why I hired my coach, because I felt like he was talking to me.
Yeah.
I said, but when I make content, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the old me.
That's exactly, yeah. And that's the best content to make because
I know all the shit that I struggled with, all you motherfuckers are still struggling with. I can see it.
There's a fuck ton of people struggling with it.
I can see it. I know how to help you. But, and all these dude, after one, like, the guy signed up yesterday, he's fucking not a pedophile. Right? So he dealt with some trauma from childhood that he buried for years, right? But now he's in a better place. He's been sober. He wants to become a coach and he wants to help guys that were dealing with that same shit.
Yeah.
But he hasn't aligned himself completely yet because he doesn't have a structured workout program. He doesn't even know what a macro is. But he wants to be a life coach. And I'm like, well, look, if you want to be the best life coach, you need to know something about nutrition.
Yeah, you need to have your life in order too.
How
are you going to go after someone else's life and be like, hey, I'm going to help you? It's like being a millionaire.
Because a part of him feels like he overcame so much and he's not destroying himself anymore. So he wants to help.
Yeah.
But he's not ready yet. And that's why he read one of my posts and he reached out to me and he's like, I prayed to God yesterday that I would find a coach that could get me to the next level. And somehow, this guy lives in Florida, right? I'm not running a sponsored ad or anything. He goes, your post popped up on my wall. And I said, dude, I started studying the 12 universal laws.
Okay.
Right? And the law of attraction.
Yep. I love, what the fuck's his name? Bob Proctor.
Yes.
Do you know about? Yeah. I know he passed away, I think this year.
Yeah.
But
it's so true, man.
Have you listened to his book?
No.
His book, it's on actually YouTube for free. I forget what it's called, but it's really good. It goes through all his laws, and it goes through the law of attraction, all of those things, the law of the different things. I mean, it's hard to remember all of them.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking, it's good. It's intense. And like you said, the law of attraction, you're going to bring things in once you decide that you've had enough and what you want, and it's going to slowly come to you. It's like, what do they call it? The RAS, your reticular activating system.
Yeah.
Same thing. Ed Milet talks about it all the time.
Yeah. Law of vibration.
Yep.
Right? It's similar to the law of attraction because the vibration that you create through exercise, through what we're putting in our bodies, that's what you're going to attract. You know, you're going to attract like-minded people. If you're eating clean, exercising, you're not going to be hanging out with people that are at the bar 3 nights a week.
That plus what did we kind of say? Shit, what was I trying to get to? The thing that we were trying to talk about in the beginning, it's like starting a podcast or something. In the beginning, it sucks because you feel like you're not making any progress. It's the same thing with that. You don't have any friends in the beginning. You lose your friends.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to kind of me for a while. I mean, I had Megan, so it was good. But like when you stop going out, you lose those friends.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I'm not hanging out with them anymore. Now it's just me and her, which is cool. It grew our relationship. But then I ran into people like you. Me and Tony got even closer. Like you start building those bonds with the right people.
Right.
And your life gets better.
Correct.
But you have to make it through that first punch in the face where you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're laying there like, fuck, should I keep doing this? Because my friends in the bar are busting my balls.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, why aren't you coming out tonight? This, that, and the other. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But to grow, you have to.
I think the most important thing that, like, when you're trying to find your true purpose and walk in alignment with your highest self is figuring out what your energy leaks are, right? And extinguishing them, you know, so
yeah, explain that a little deeper.
So a lot of people, you know, they have vices, and that is where all their energy is being drained. Right, so if they have a stressful day, they have a bad day at work, they have a bad week, they're drinking it away. A lot of these guys now, they think it's cool because weed is legal, that they could just rip bongs all night. You are taking yourself, it's an energy leak. You're taking yourself out of alignment with your highest self. It's an escape.
Yes, it is.
You can say whatever you want. It's legal.
It's natural.
Listen, let me tell you something. It's fucking legal for a reason.
I'm on the same wavelength with that.
They want you to be trapped in this damn matrix as long as possible. So, you know, if they really cared about us, do you think alcohol would be legal?
It took me a long time to see that too.
Seriously.
Especially too,
it's poison. It does nothing.
It's pushed on you too as a teen. Like if you watch any teen movie, it's like, oh, you're drinking at the party. Like that's the cool thing to do. And since it's legal, since it's okay, it's like fine to go through that. I went through that in my early 20s.
Yeah.
But it fucks up a lot of people.
Oh, so many, man. It had me for half my life.
And that's like one of the things that when you finally separate yourself and see the matrix from the other side, you're like,
yes,
dude, you get like, that's
why
not
I'm
good.
so
and people are like,
passionate.
why are you're not fun anymore. And it's like, bro, like, come on this side for a little while and you're going to feel very different.
Yeah. Yes.
But weed's the same thing now. Yeah, everybody wants to. And like, look, man, if that's your thing, I guess like you're going to realize that you're not going to accomplish as much probably.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you're draining yourself.
Yeah.
But like to say it's natural, to say it's this, to say it's that, like there's a lot of natural things that aren't, like you don't drink petroleum, you don't drink like a lot of things that are poison. Like to say it's natural doesn't really like mean anything in my eyes.
Mine either. And I think there was an actor, I think his name is Seth Rogen. And he's well known he smokes a lot of weed. And he was being interviewed and he was making it like it was, you know, I'm a really successful guy and I smoke weed every day. I smoke before I go on set. Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
But 9 out of 10 people can't do that. And you shouldn't promote it. So, like, that's your thing. Great. But don't make it seem like it's okay for everybody. Because that could be like you saying, well, I drink 4 nights a week. And I'm a successful man. But your neighbor could have one drink and destroy his whole life.
And he's done. Yeah, he's down the whole rabbit hole, fucking all types of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that people don't realize. It's like, well, you don't have to have what if I don't have a problem though? And it's like, but like, it's not good for you. It's not helping you. Every now and then, I'll give you if you really like, you know, whatever socially. But if you're coming home and having a couple drinks every single night,
yeah,
you might have to re-identify something that's going on because there's probably something going on.
Yeah.
Or if your relationships, the people around you, like you said, are all about alcohol, then it's like, are those people advancing in life?
Yeah. Well, when you start to, and they continue to live that lifestyle, and listen, I can be around people when they're drinking.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that because I'm very comfortable in my skin. I don't need to drink and escape who I am because I work so hard at building who I am every single day. You know, so like when I'm around people, I'm the same dude everywhere I go. I can laugh and have fun with drinking water. And then it's even better the next day.
Oh my God. That was the worst thing to me. Like you do so well all week, say, depending on when your weekend is, you know, whatever schedule you work, and then you have a couple drinks. Well, after you have those couple drinks, then it's like, I might as well eat a little something so that tomorrow I don't feel as bad. And then tomorrow you're like,
I can skip today's workout and eat a little something different because, I'm a little hungover. I'm not going to get a good workout anyway. And you just keep justifying away these 3 hours of drinking, like what they call, like it's a whole dominoes thing. That's why I don't drink really, because I know I can have 3 drinks and then not drink again for a month. Yeah. But the issue is the dominoes of losing 2 or 3 days of not clear thinking, not eating right. It's like,
well, here's the difference. 3 hours? You know that you can go without it, right?
That's exactly.
Something is chemically different with you.
Yeah.
You have more willpower. You have more discipline and self-control. What happens is, because alcohol is so powerful, it's such a powerful escape, that if people are not building themselves on a daily basis internally, because the morning process that I put into place and everything that I have structured throughout my day is basically armoring me for the adversity that I'm going to face.
Yep.
So that when I do face it, I don't need to escape it. Because I'm building myself every day to give myself this strength. I'm up at 4 o'clock regardless. 365 days a year. It's non-negotiable. The morning routine, the meals, the training, all of it. So somebody passes away. Whatever. Think of the another coronavirus comes. Guess what? I'm still waking up at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah, and I think people need to realize how their discipline works and how their structure needs to be, because like for you, you have to be very, very structured.
Yep.
For me, like I work a revolving shift, so I can't have a certain time every day because there's certain days where I'm at work when you know what I mean? Like I don't get up at the same time every day.
It's the number one question I get, especially from entrepreneur business owners.
But what I was going to get to is, so like some people have to do it your way, but there's multiple ways. That's what people don't get. It's like, I can't do it his way. They tried with you for a week and they're just like, I'm a failure. I'm just going to keep doing my shit. Well, like try a program like 75 Hard worked for me because it was, you have all day to win the day. So if you don't get fucking done until 12:30 at night, if you finish it at 12:30 at night, you do it. You lose a little sleep, but you still won the day.
Yeah.
So like maybe that works better. Like you have to try different things and connect like what you say, what I say, what someone else says to find your own structure. You know what I mean?
You have to. What that structure is put in place for is to build your own strength, right? So like, it's especially the wake up. Why it's so important, because that voice that's in your head, everybody has it, especially when adversity is high. For me at night, it used to be like the food cravings, in the pantry, uncontrollable cravings that, if I miss my wake up, that is a loss to start my day. So my self-discipline is already diminished, right? So when that voice comes, I'm already broken down a little bit.
Yep.
So I'm going to give into it. Now, if I hit my wake up, I hit my first meal, I'm drinking my water, I got my next meals in me. When that voice comes, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm not breaking character. And then when you do it consistently, it just becomes who you are.
Yeah, small wins stack up.
Yeah.
It's about your small wins. For me, my first thing in the morning is I do a 5-minute cold shower. So I'll take my shower and then do the 5-minute cold shower.
Nice.
I've done it every day since like January.
Yeah.
And those fucking voices come every single morning.
Oh,
no matter what morning. Like you would think like after a month,
that's
it's
brutal,
like,
man. I can't do that.
And I do it because once I do that,
that,
I feel great after. I mean, I'm still drinking coffee.
I'm sure you do.
But the voice comes in your head. And if I win that voice the first thing in the morning, I'm like, number one, you get all the whatever advantages, health advantages, but I also get that advantage of I just beat you.
Yeah.
I beat whatever you want to call it, because I think we both are agreeants where it's kind of like this is your body, but you have like a being. Like we're trying to figure out what's actually going on with this whole thing of life. But it's like my thought is this is a body. There's something spirit-wise, whatever you want to call it. I'm in here controlling it. You know what I mean? So like, I need to win against my body who wants to be lazy.
Your mind.
Yeah. Bob Proctor kind of shows you that when he does like a drawing and he's like, this is your subconscious, and then there's a thing above it, which is your conscious mind. And that's like kind of the essence of everything. You have to realize that exists and that your subconscious is just trying to go through the motions.
Yeah.
So like, I realize that. So once I connect that, it's like, all right, if I win that shower first thing, I'm talking shit to myself. Maybe it's weird, but fuck it works for me.
Yeah.
So I talk shit, I'm like, yo, I won this, and then you go on to the meals.
Yeah.
The meals are the other most important thing to me to try and hit every single day.
Yeah.
Some days you win, some days you
And
lose.
that's the point of everything that I do, and that
Yep.
sounds like you do too. It's hard.
Yep.
Because anything, like we were talking about before, starting a podcast, starting a business, it is hard. It's not going to happen as fast as you want to. But if your intention and your purpose and your passion is in the right place, you're going to be driven every day, regardless of what adversity comes at you. Nothing is going to stop you.
Yeah, nothing's smooth,
You know?
man. Nothing's smooth in life.
You can't expect it to be.
I think that was one of the things too I learned through 75 Hard and through studying successful people and listening to podcasts was that everybody has those voices. Everybody has a struggle. Like, you have somebody who will hit you up or like sees your social media and they're like, I want your life, I want this, and it's like, bro, like my social media, I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to do my thing, I'm enjoying my life, but like that's just my social media. Like, I have struggles.
Yeah,
I have shitty things that happen. You're only seeing the good stuff. So like you getting depressed that you're not living my life, like this is just my life. Live your life. Realize I'm struggling in certain ways.
Yeah.
I'm working to become better. But I don't think a lot of people understand that. They're like, in my head, I'm a little bitch, this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, everybody has those days where they feel like shit.
And I want to touch on that too, because I battled depression my whole life. And you know, when depression hits me, it's always in the wintertime. Usually when I have my foot off the gas a little bit. And that's why I have to go so hard. That's why I have to continually like challenge myself with things that make me feel like I'm doing more, you know, that like there's more of a purpose to my day.
Yep.
Because if I don't have those challenges, I get bored. And that's what, like that boredom, man, it's not good with people that have minds like mine. Because they just runs rampant.
Mine's always running too. So I have to have a checklist. Like I started something recently where at night I journal before bed.
Yeah.
And then I have a list of at least like 5 to 6 things that I need to accomplish the next day.
Right.
So it's like, all right, once I go to sleep and wake up, now I have to accomplish these things.
Love it.
So sometimes I accomplish them and I'm like, fuck, it's only noon. And I'm like, you can enjoy the day a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's,
up too.
I'm like, chill.
I know.
So that's like a balance I'm trying to understand and find.
Yeah.
But it's still like, at least looking at that, I'm like, well, I did accomplish that, and that.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that other people are going through the same exact thing. Like, you're not weird in experiencing those feelings.
Not at all. No, your strength is in your vulnerability. And that's why like guys like us that are in leadership positions people need to know, like, we deal with anxiety, we deal with stress, we deal with, you know, low self-esteem from time to time. It's all about how we choose to manage it. I was having this conversation with somebody in our gym yesterday about a young kid, because he's got a lot of anxiety issues right now, and what he has to understand is it's just energy. Anxiety is energy in your body that's pent up. So anytime you're getting that feeling, you can get rid of it real quick. Whether you do some burpees, some push-ups, go for a walk outside. But if you just sit on the damn couch flicking channels, it's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse. When you wake up the next day, it's going to probably be even worse because you probably tried to eat it the way the night before.
That's the fucked up part, yeah. And then you can't get a good workout on the next day.
No.
Because you ate who the fuck knows what, or drank something. And then alcohol, which, it's a fucking depressant.
The worst.
But like, unless you look into it, you don't realize that it's a depressant. Like, you start drinking, in the beginning you feel good. And then you don't feel that good towards the end, and then you go to sleep, and you're not sleeping good because it fucks up your REM sleep.
Yeah.
You wake up the next day feeling like shit. It's just like, if you're already struggling with anxiety or depression, this is probably the worst fucking thing you can do.
The worst.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, like, I don't necessarily go to the gym because I'm a meathead and I'm trying to build muscles. I go to the gym to get rid of that stuff.
Yep.
You know, so because I'm so passionate about not going back to the anxious, angry, depressed Mike who was reliant on his vices, that's why I go so hard, because I have to.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, it comes right back. It's right there. You know, I talk to guys all the time that are in my program that deal with the same stuff that I used to, and they need to get this very clear. It's hard. Like, this isn't just like get ripped in 90 days. This is your new self that if you don't want to feel like you are right now, this is what you do for the rest of your life. This has to be you.
That's why I was saying, like, if they can't do it your way with a certain wake up time, this, that, and the other, it's like grab some of your things and incorporate them into your day, however your schedule works perfectly.
They have to.
You know what I mean? Like, because they might be able to do your schedule for 30 days, and it might work, say, for 5 out of 6, that 6th person. Maybe they need to do that at night, or maybe they need to, like, you got to realize that you're different. Like, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Figure out what works perfectly for you. But that's something, it's like, if I don't do it his way, nothing's going to work for me.
Yeah.
But
if your day isn't structured.
Exactly. Structure is what it comes down to.
And it's not non-negotiable, because there's going to be multiple days out of the week when that bitch voice is telling you not to do X, Y, and Z. But if you make it non-negotiable and you commit to that, that's how you stay in alignment. That's how you keep anxiety low. That's how you stop getting depressed.
Build confidence.
And momentum. So if you're somebody who struggles with stress and anxiety and depression and addiction and all that shit, this is the cure for it. It's not the cure, but it's more or less like the Band-Aid that will hold you together as long as you keep doing it.
I mean, I think it is the cure.
Listen, man, it's the best thing that I've found. Once I finally committed to it 100% and was able to get rid of all my vices, I do not have one single vice that holds me back in life. When I wake up in the morning, from the time I go to bed, my day is 100% structured. There's nothing that is in my day that is, negatively impacting my mind and my goals and my vision. Everything that we do is centered around the 10.0 vision of Steve. So when Steve is waking up and Steve's going through his day, that's what you're thinking about. So every little decision that you make, whether it be your subconscious that's the bitch that's telling you to, when you're at 7-Eleven, get the Doritos, man. Don't get your protein bar or whatever. That's where that comes from.
And I think it's so easy to get caught up and I'm in there, let me just grab this. This is what I always grab. Your subconscious takes over, because I don't even really go out for like coffee and stuff too much, just because like it's just better not to be in there for me, because I'm just like, I have coffee at home, I have this. Even coffee's fucking expensive now. Yeah. 7-Eleven's not bad, but a Starbucks coffee like $6 for a cold brew? A black cold brew.
I had one coffee there one time and I was like,
nah. Yeah, I could go for a good cold black coffee, but like, so you go in Wawa and you just see the people in front of you and I'm just like, you're just fucking picking up whatever.
7-Eleven, they got these cookies, right? They're with all the other protein cookies. Now, if you're just an average Joe going in there, you're thinking you're getting a good protein cookie, right? If you look at the ingredients, the serving size is half the cookie. So if you eat the whole cookie, you're getting 600 calories. There's 74 grams of sugar.
In half of it?
In the whole cookie.
Holy shit.
Right? These cookies are sold out every week. You'll never guess who the owner of the company is. A fucking bodybuilder. These cookies are they're complete garbage. That's fine. Why are they with the protein cookies? You're misleading people.
Yeah.
When you're buying donuts, you know what you're buying. You're getting a thing of sugar, right? But when you have cookies that aren't labeled properly, you're misleading people. They think they're eating healthy, and they're addicted. They're coming back every day.
And like you said, they don't understand the macro aspect of it, where it's like, and it's actually like, how many different things do you think you probably eat? Like total? 20?
Me?
If that,
not
like,
many.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
I'm thinking right now.
But I'm saying like the difference. It's like there's a couple different kinds of chicken. There's a couple different kinds of steak. Maybe some turkey here and there.
Yeah.
Whatever your carb, your rice, your sweet potato, maybe eggs. But like, if you get an app on your phone, like I use Carb Manager, simple, easy.
Yeah.
You just fucking click. Like I eat the same size portion. So like, it's not like people are like, oh, you count your macros. I'm like, it's not hard. I eat like 20 things. It's on a list. It's usually like I could see the portion and figure it out. Maybe I'm a little off on my scale, but like it's like, oh, this is about this many grams. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I can eat this many meals today. It's not that fucking hard. It's just like anything else. You have to learn it.
It is in the beginning.
Exactly.
I struggled.
Okay.
And most people do. And that's why, like, guys that don't know anything about macros, I usually give them like 60 days
Okay.
of just being consistent with eating 3 meals and a shake every day. Just get used to that. Weigh out your meats, 4 to 6 ounces. Get 40 to 50 grams of carbohydrate per meal, right? Do that for 2 months. Let's see how your body reacts with the exercise. And then if you're doing it consistently, then I'll waste my time and I'll teach you the macros and how to really dial it in. But if you can't even be consistent with eating 3 meals and a shake, and here's the hard part, not eating the 3 meals and the shake, it's what you don't eat.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. That's why I make these videos about going in the damn pantry, because I used to be that guy. I would eat at 5 o'clock. And, you know, when I'm cutting weight, man, I'm starving in like half an hour after I eat a meal. Like, I'm just starving, and that pantry just calls me. It doesn't do it anymore, but it used to get me bad. And I know it gets everybody, bro.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they can't control themselves.
Yeah, at work, we pay into like a coffee fund, and there's a pantry there, and it's filled with fucking everything under the sun. It's like a little kid's dream. And I used to, you know, after a meal, it's like, oh, what's a couple little Snickers? What's some peanut M&Ms?
18 later.
Yeah, and like you never thought of it. I did it all day, and now that I don't, and it's not like I'm judging people when they do it right after a meal or something, but I'm like, I used to do that, and it's funny because you're just doing it.
Right.
You're not thinking I need to eat because I haven't eaten in 10 hours. Let me get a little something, even if it's not some good. At least a little sugar is going to give me a boost. It's like,
but here's where that helps you in life, because if you can gain self-control in the moment on a daily basis, because all of our strength lies in our ability to restrict ourselves from what we desire the most, which for most people is shit food.
Yeah.
So when you can consistently restrict yourself from food that you really want, you can basically overcome anything you're addicted to.
Agreed.
You know, it's so important for these guys, and it's not just fitness, man. This is life management skills 101 from the grassroots. You can beat anything if you get control of this area.
Yeah, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard once you get into a routine of it, because you can prep food and kind of have your meals. And if you have your meals, it's like, oh, I'm just going to eat that. But it's hard when you're going through the motions and you're like, oh, I need a healthy lunch, but I'm here, so I might as well get whatever. Like, you need the structure to do the nutrition right.
But what you have to understand is it's not hard for maybe somebody like you. It's extremely hard for people that are emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
That have overcome trauma, or maybe they're still dealing with trauma, and they always resorted to some form of vice to numb their pain. You know, whether it be alcohol, drugs, food, porn, whatever. They use any vice they can to get out of their current state of reality. So for these people in the beginning to only eat their meal when their brain is just lit up, dude. But once they realize that they have that power, they become unstoppable. And that's what happened to me. I experienced it for myself. So now, because I had no control over anything. So I tell these guys all the time, man, like the guy that you see today is a complete 360 from who I used to be. So if I was able to do it, any of you can. You know, you just have to be honest with yourself and commit. And they'll hit me up and they'll be like, dude, I just fucking binged.
And I mean, that's going to happen. You do that.
And it's part of the process.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And I mean, even if you, like, not binge, but if you have, like, a cheat meal every couple days in the beginning, it's not going to kill you. But once you get on, like, a structure, you don't want the cheat meals. Like, I don't want to go out and eat something. I'm going to feel like it. To me, now, cheat meals are almost like alcohol. It's like, well, okay, like, we really want to go out to dinner. Like, okay, I'll have a cheat meal now.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel so fucking good.
Yeah.
That it's hard to have a cheat meal sometimes. Because then you end up sometimes with a little bloat, or your fucking digestion isn't as good. So that's why for me, like, once I got the structure down, it became pretty easy not to eat shitty foods. You know what I mean? Like, once you eliminate all the nasty stuff, you feel fucking great.
Yeah, when your body starts operating at that level, and your mind is like that too, because you notice, man, like one of the guys, when he started with me, he was 265 pounds, and within 35 days, he's lost 30 pounds. Now, what happened was, like, the first week, he was a little depressed. he was withdrawing from sugar.
Yep.
And what happened in the second week was pretty magical for him because his mental clarity went from like all over the place. So now he's just got this clean, crisp, clear energy because it's just nothing but whole foods and water, no alcohol, exercise. He's like, dude, like I'm going to take my business to the next level now. He feels like a different man. And this is 35 days. 35 days. Now imagine the whole rest of the year. 2 years, 3 years, like that's how
you
we
can dial it in even more.
Oh yeah, he's not even to the point where we're tracking his macros, his calories yet.
Yeah, you don't even have to in the beginning because
No.
there's so many foods that are fucked up and processed that are killing your digestion. They're not allowing you to go to the bathroom. You're obviously, if you're not going to the bathroom right,
Yeah,
then your digestion isn't good. Your metabolism is slowing down.
Yeah.
Like all those things add up.
Yeah.
Like lately, I kind of started like an elimination diet of trying. I went like super basic. It was like eggs, Ezekiel bread with avocado for breakfast. It was chicken, sweet potato for lunch, and then a salad with avocado and the same balsamic dressing every single day.
Yeah.
So I found out that worked. I didn't get a bloat, nothing.
Nice.
Then I would slowly incorporate things in. So I liked having yogurt for breakfast sometimes. Well, I had that for breakfast for 4 days. Well, I didn't go to the bathroom after that. Okay, my lactose thing is actually an issue. I'm lactose somewhat intolerant. But like, I wouldn't have known that. Like, I usually just had it at work for breakfast because it was easy to bring.
Yeah.
Well, I did it 4 days in a row with the same lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, this has been causing me an issue that long? Okay,
Yeah.
go back to the basics. Wait a week, eat the same way. Now I incorporated something else. I added a couple cheese in to say, fuck, cheese, so it's everything lactose. I gotta really avoid that.
Yeah.
But that's the only, obviously you can't start with that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I can dial in those little things
Yeah,
now.
you're at a different level now.
But
Yeah.
it's crazy that I never thought of that till now. I'm 31, I've been working out since 16. I never got my eating right until probably 27, 28.
Yeah.
But like, it's all those little things you can dial in now and be like, wait, I'm not supposed to be bloated after I eat. So what's causing that?
Yeah.
And that's, who the fuck is talking about that? Who's teaching that? Do you know anybody?
I don't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why is nobody talking about the things that could really fucking help you?
Yeah.
I don't know, just kind of.
They don't like doing that, Steve. They want us to be sick and dependent, and you know.
It's Pizza Friday. It's this, that day. It's so-and-so's birthday. You have to have the cake.
Listen, man, I love pizza.
I did too.
Always have loved pizza. Had it on my birthday, and you know, it's as much as I love it, I'm just like, ugh. Like now, I feel like I want to leave there and just go right to the gym. Like I just feel like crap.
You feel drained, and depending how your body processes it, like for me,
It's more my brain, man, and
when you
it's
get that
like
fog.
it's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you like it, so you're gonna have it every now and then, but like you want to limit it, especially when you're in a zone and you have, say, some kind of job set up or some kind of like interview or something on that like 2 days later, and you're like, I can't go this way.
Right.
I'm already right here. I need to
Right.
keep stacking and stay on this flow path.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, a lot of people struggle. And it all starts with being conscious of what we're putting into our bodies. And if you're complaining about any of these issues and you're not taking a close inventory of what you put in your body every day, then you're hypocritical.
What are you made out of? Like what is all your skin? What is
Mostly water.
Yeah, but I'm saying like besides that, like your skin, obviously, you know, it peels off and stuff. So like your organs, everything's regenerating based on the food you're putting in it.
Yeah.
So do you want to be made of good shit or bad shit?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with Megan. I'm like, sometimes we'll be like, oh, whatever you eat, that baby's gonna be. I'm like, you're making the baby out of, like, the baby's not just being made. It's made out of the fuel. Like, food is fuel.
100%.
But nobody talks about it like that. It's like, it's so weird that it's almost like done. Like, I don't want to believe that it's done on fucking purpose, but it just feels like it's done on purpose to make you just go through the motions, get your job, go do this, eat your pizza, eat your this, don't work out, you'll be fine, take this medicine. Why would, you know, it hurts. I know, but it hurts to believe that it's done on purpose. Like, you want to believe that people can't be bad.
I got over that hurt a long time ago.
I'm still hurt, bro.
I've seen so many things happen in this country in the course of my lifetime that I've had a lot of questions about, and we're not going to get into that too much, but I lost that a long time ago. My eyes are wide open now, And the current agenda and this attack on masculinity, it's a joke. It's a shame.
So
it really is.
I want to read this because I'm not going to say it right if I don't read it.
Yeah.
Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly where the fuck we are.
Yeah.
I've heard the quote a few times, and like every time it gives me like fucking goosebumps. Because like you said, it's just been coming down, and we're at that point where it's crazy because it's not okay to be a strong male role model. It's toxic. But like you can be a strong woman, you can be strong whatever the fuck else. Can't be a strong male?
Right.
The fuck you mean?
Right. Why?
Right?
Why?
It's control. I mean, what does it all come down to?
Power, control. People there's warriors that are rising up every single day that are becoming in control of their minds.
Yep.
And then once they get control and they cut out all this crap and get all the evil out of their life, they wake up and they start questioning everything. And then it's like, whoa, yeah, it's scary.
It's an awakening.
It's scary because you're like, whoa, you really need to have your emotions in check on a daily basis, because the news cycle is just a constant emotional roller coaster where if you're not a disciplined person and you live, it creates fear for a lot of people, and that fear causes them to lean on vices that they start relying on to make them feel comfortable, when guys like me and you know that our comfort lies in anything that makes us uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like we chase uncomfortable situations. We put ourselves through hell every day because that's how we feel good.
And that is slowly built up over time. We weren't there. You're not born that way.
No.
Some people have, like, I had a good role model as a dad. My dad was a great role model.
Yeah, mine too.
But like, there's obviously certain things you would change, but that doesn't matter. But I'm saying a lot of people don't have that role model, number one. And then number two, you still have to develop it on your own because that's just the way it is. So like me and you, like you said in the first interview that we had, which if you haven't watched, go fucking watch. You talked your whole journey of becoming you now, getting over the battle, winning the battle. People see you now and they're just like, he's just built different. He's different than me. He's always been that way. No, the fuck, you haven't.
No.
This takes time. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do, but that's not allowed now. Now you're a victim.
Well,
you're always gonna be a victim.
A lot of people, you hear them talk negatively about social media and its impact on people, right? But for people that didn't have a role model in the house, we need more role models like me and you to be more vocal and be posting some leadership content, some discipline content, content based around helping young men become good men.
Yeah,
because we're in a lack of men right now that want to do hard shit. That you see what they're doing recently with the mortgages. Now,
oh my God, dude,
are you kidding me? So you work so hard your whole life to get your credit score up, and now they're going to incentivize you
to not have good credit and
to
not have money in
good
credit. Because I
see stuff like this, and it makes me furious because they don't want people to work hard. You're supposed to, if you work harder than people, you're supposed to have more than other people.
Yep.
You're supposed to be
capitalism.
rewarded.
That's
for
like a reward. That's like we talked about with your body. Your body's the first thing you see, and that's your reward for eating right and taking care of yourself. Is your body. Okay. The next thing, financially. How are you doing financially? Family's obviously super fucking important. How's the person next to you? Is she smiling? Does she look happy? Is she happy behind closed doors? Because a lot of people don't have that either. But that's all built. That's not just like he's lucky.
Relationships.
Stop saying it's luck.
Yeah, dude. Relationships end, they go awry because there's a discipline problem. And it's usually with the man.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Because most women, they just want to be loved, man. They just want to be loved. But most guys, they fall out of love with themselves.
Yep.
And when we don't love ourselves, we're assholes.
Or they're not strong enough in themselves. Because if you have a group of friends who are doing stupid shit, and they're going out drinking, then you're going to go out, you're going to drink with them. It's going to be like, she'll be at home.
Yeah.
And it's all well and good. Then she leaves you. Right. And then your boy, who you were sitting with, who was telling you that, gets a girlfriend. Now he's chilling with her.
Now you're swinging
and you're
by
out here
yourself.
fucking.
How you feel real like a winner now, right?
That's the straight up shit that happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like I've seen it too. Like in my relationship, there were times where things weren't perfect, and it was usually because I wasn't being the man I should be. When
Yeah.
I put everything the fuck into our relationship, stopped
Yeah.
doing anything crazy,
Yeah.
it was like, wait, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it wasn't amazing because I wasn't putting everything in. Subconsciously, it makes her not put everything in. It's like, it's so simple.
I think that the most powerful thing about fitness and getting your mind and your body right is that you become selfless. When I wake up in the morning now, because I've conquered myself, I think about how I can best serve other people.
Yep.
I don't think about myself anymore. The old me, it was all me, I all the time. That's all I thought about. It was just me, selfish little baby. That was it, man. That's who I was, and that's how I see all these men in our society now. Because all you have to do is and look, I don't want to make nobody feel bad about themselves, but your body is a resume to the world about how you treat yourself.
It's the first thing everybody sees.
It's how you treat yourself.
Yeah.
So if you want to judge me for being in shape, feel free, right? Because I care about myself deeply. So the first thing I'm doing from the time I wake up throughout my day until I go to sleep is trying to figure out how I can best serve my body and mind so I can best serve people.
And you only get one. Like,
You
I hate
only
to
get
break
one,
it to
man.
you. They're not going to fucking give you a new body to try out. Like,
Right.
This is all you get. You overflood it with nasty shit, you're going to end up on all types of medicine. You're going to end up overweight,
That's what they
unhappy.
want.
Yeah, and
That's what they want.
it's the truth, and it's just hard to come to grips with, I feel like, at times. But the more your eyes are open to it, like you said, the more you see it, and the more it makes me even want to preach it. Like, I'm not somebody who really wants to be out. Like, I'm a fucking, what do they call it, an introvert most of the time. Like, I'd rather just hang out with her,
Me too.
do our thing. But it's like, if you don't stand up, who the fuck is at this point?
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and you're almost like I never paid attention to politics in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, me either.
And it's like, do I have to be part of like politics at some point? Like,
I know.
dude, it's like,
I know.
especially like we're thinking about having kids, and it's like, do I like make sure the school board's okay? Like, do you have to? Like,
I've realized that like it's so sad, man. Like, you got this beautiful flag behind you. It's so sad how corrupt our country is, and how we've let it get to this point where the people that we hire to work for us, and that our money is just like the money we make. It's just, here you go, take it.
Yep.
Oh, and while you're at it, just go give it to another country. Like, that's the thing. Like, I saw Trump interviewed about why he was so adamant about like trying to like figure out how to pay as least amount of taxes as he could.
yeah,
And his response was brilliant. He's like, because I don't like what they do with my money.
yep,
If I had more of a say in where my money was going and what it was being used for, then it wouldn't be such a big deal. I wouldn't fight. But he's like, I'm fighting for every penny because, you look at what this administration is doing with our money, and it's mind-blowing.
I was listening to something that was saying there's a fund for the senators for sexual harassment lawsuits that come against them. There's a fund, like a separate fund that we pay, obviously, to keep as like a hush fund.
It's unreal.
Fucking crazy.
That's unreal. See, certain things like that, they actually infuriate me.
Yeah.
Like that, like you said, I probably have to look into that now.
It was on the PVD podcast, and I like his Patrick
I like
David.
Patrick,
Yeah. So
He's
they
a
were
real
talking
one.
about it, and I was just like, that's insane. But you hear about, and then it's just like insider trading, and like for a while it was just like, okay, they don't bother me too much. I'm going to pay my taxes. I'm going to make my money, whatever. But then when it started coming down to, oh, now I'm going to control you and tell you how to do everything else, then it was like, you know what? Maybe we do have to stand up and start talking about it and making the changes that need to happen.
Yeah. Well, most people are in fear of talking up because they're gonna lose their job. They're gonna be frowned upon by whoever. I'm not somebody who lives in fear of any man or anything. So if something comes out of my mouth you don't like, or if there's something that comes out of your mouth I don't like, guess what I do? I just go about my business.
Yeah.
You don't agree with that? I don't agree with you. Okay.
we can coexist in the world, but don't tell me how to live my life. As long as I'm not breaking the laws or doing anything crazy in society, it should be that way.
That's why, like, I think this whole pandemic shed a lot of light on how our government was trying to control us. Because from day one, I was very open with my whole family, and half my family's vaccinated and half isn't. I said, look, here's my deal. I'm not anti-vax at all. I said, but I'm putting the brakes on this thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to give it a year and see where this vaccine is and how it's affecting people, and if it's even working. A year later, you could still get COVID, and you could still spread COVID. Oh, well, you need another one, and you need a booster, and you need this. You know what you need? You need a pile of this right here.
Yeah.
Because you ain't forcing shit on me, especially if it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like, if you want it, great, but stop worrying about me. I'm not
Yes.
worried about what you're shoving down your throat, what
Yes.
you're drinking, what you're smoking.
It's like supposed to be the land of the
right?
free.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like, but like, you're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
With COVID, it was obesity, depression,
Yes.
and then diabetes, which are all caused by not taking care of yourself mostly.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Well, that's
like,
the
if
thing.
I'm doing those three things, just leave me alone.
They tried to make it like all these people are dying. I'm like, yeah, but they're all the same people that would have died when the flu was here, and the flu disappeared. Where'd the flu go? All the majority of the people, and God rest their souls, man, and the people that whatever died just for whatever reasons, you know. But like most people that were healthy, I got COVID. You know, it was like having the flu.
Same
Like,
thing. I moved on. Kept
Well,
going.
why am I going to put this foreign substance in my body? Why am I going to be forced to do this if I'm going to beat it naturally, and then I have immunity build up after I woke up right around the time the pandemic hit is when I woke up and started my personal development process. So I'm starting to question everything, and I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. Everybody's real quick to just say, okay, sure, overlord, whatever you say, sir. And I'm like, no, screw you, pal.
Yeah.
This is my body. You people are all about my body, my choice, right? Well, why are you trying to force me? Put shit in my body.
I almost feel like that's so, like, the politics part of that. So like, my body, my choice became like a Republican thing at that point.
Yeah.
And then the abortion thing, which like, I don't really want like to say, like, I don't know that I agree with it, disagree with it, but like, again, it's, if that's something you want to do with your money, I don't want to be a part of it, but like, hey, that's what you're doing with your body. It's your choice. I don't want to be funding it. No, I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah.
But like, that was what was weird to me. It was like,
Makes no sense.
yeah, that's why I'm like, these motherfuckers are on the same team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because the people who were like kind of in the middle were like, well, I can't go over there because they're anti-abortion. I'm like, but why? It's like, they were just my body, my choice with the vaccine. And it's like, so why not now be like, look, we're not funding Planned Parenthood. If you want to do it, there's doctors who will do it. They can have their license, be certified, pay. You have to pay for this. Okay, yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but that's your fucking choice. Like, why are you going to have to go through the whole pregnancy thing? I don't know what it's like to do all that.
Yeah.
I can't make that decision for somebody.
Who's the former mayor up in New York? When he came out with a video one day and he's enticing people, if you get the vaccine, you get free hamburgers and free French fries. That's what I'm like.
I'm beer.
I'm like, yo, never. This is going too far now.
Yeah, and the little I forget. I never watched the whatever night show, the Tonight Show or something, where they had them dancing around.
No.
They had the vaccine like needles dancing around, and it was just like, this is too much for me.
Yeah, man.
But to transition back to just like the confidence part of it and shit. So like, I feel like a lot of like what we're talking about, we need to get like, obviously people can't afford to pay for your coaching, like young guys, I'm saying. And I feel like the 14 to 17, especially like our gym,
I want to debunk that.
Okay.
Right? Because you know, you think about what parents spend their money on over the course of a year for their kids, right? And if they're really truly concerned with their future, right? The majority of these parents aren't in alignment with their highest selves. So they're basically they're giving their kids what is just going to shut them up most of the time.
If they have the money though.
Right.
Yeah.
the investment that you would make in your kid to make him become the best version of himself is an investment. It's not. You have to look at it as such.
But I'm trying to say, say they don't have the greatest relationship with their parents. Like a lot of kids who are obviously off track, some of them don't have a good relationship with their parents. Their parents aren't going to say, "Oh, let me pay for this." They probably barely want to pay for the fucking gym membership.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of what I try to talk to.
Yeah.
So it's like you see them in the gym, and it's like stop. I think the number one thing I would say was stop trying to be like every single other person, because they all wear the same fucking shoes with the same goddamn shirt on, and it's just like, and the same haircut. Like now, long hair is the thing, which it is what it is. But like when everybody your age and your school has the same look, you ain't gonna get girls. You ain't gonna stand out. You're not being a confident male. Like be who you want to fucking be.
Yeah, it's tough at that age, man, because everybody's trying to fit in.
Yeah,
You know, instead of stand out.
be you.
That's right, and it's hard to for some people. It takes more time. I personally don't want to work with kids.
Yeah, but I'm not saying kids. I
want to
might
work
be too young.
Yeah, I want to work with men who have had enough. You know what I mean? Like typically, it's going to be you got to be mature enough, in the first place. So it's typically going to be guys over the age of 30 that have dealt with some shit.
I don't know, man. Like,
You know what I mean?
somebody came and hit me with some of this stuff a little earlier. Like, I started around like 25, 26,
Yeah,
hitting it hard. But like, if somebody had these messages a little earlier,
yeah.
I might have fucking gotten into it earlier.
Yeah.
I might have, but
I
like,
really wish I would have, man.
that's what I'm saying. So
It
like,
would've
that's what I
if I would
really,
have done this in my early 20s, where I could potentially be in my life right now, who knows? I know that I would be way farther ahead of where I'm at now.
but like, they're the most like I feel influential people to kind of talk to at times.
Yeah,
Because they're about to either go to college or get a job, and they have a chance to change the kind of their workforce and change the trajectory of their fucking life.
yeah,
Instead of falling in line and just doing what everybody else is doing and making the wokeness even worse. Because like there's dudes in our gym who somebody was doing something stupid. They were doing like a dry scoop in the locker room.
Yeah.
And it was right after I fucking interviewed the dude who makes supplements, and he was like, yeah, it actually doesn't get into your bloodstream because it's not mixed with water, it's made to be mixed with water. So I was just like, yo, bro, like, you actually don't want to do it that way. Like, nicely in the locker room. He was like, I don't give a fuck.
right.
And I'm like, number one, look another fucking guy in his eye. Like, I was taught by my dad as a young man, you look
That's
a
why I
man,
don't waste my time on
yeah,
him.
you look a man in the eye. Always. And then you learn as you go on, you always give them the eye contact that they give you. If somebody looks away, you have to look away. Like, that's from reading and learning.
Yeah,
But, like, you can't even look at the fucking person you're talking to. It was
Right.
just playing with your phone. It's like, what are you doing?
well, they're used to being on their damn phone all day.
I know, but, like, that's...
These guys are addicted to Instagram reels. They're addicted to looking at all the girls on the Explore page. They're addicted to TikTok, scrolling. That's what they do on their phone all day long. Scroll, scroll, scroll.
It's not real.
Instead of learn.
And it's not real.
None of it's real.
Like, you see, like, most of the dudes, you've seen some of them who, they look great in their little reel or their post, and then you see them and you're like, you're 5'2", 110 pounds. Like, I remember seeing a dude who I was like, man, he's got a nice fucking physique. Like, I'm not going to be the guy who's like, oh, fuck that guy. I'm like, yo, I'd like to have some abs, like, kind of look like his, whatever.
Yeah.
I see him in the gym. He's yay fucking big.
Yeah.
And until he gets his whole pump on,
Yeah.
he doesn't even look that good. Nothing against him, but it's like,
Yeah.
if you just are scrolling and not
Listen,
going out and
dude,
seeing reality.
9 out of 10 people that are posting a pic of themselves with their shirt off on Instagram, they got a pump.
And it's edited.
And
stuff.
there's a big difference. When I post a picture of myself, usually in my stories, I'll do physique updates from time to time, especially now when I'm cutting. So I like to show people.
Yeah,
like,
there's nothing wrong with
I'm
showing.
going from 195, now I'm at 191. That's where I woke up this morning. In probably like 3 to 4 weeks from now, I'm going to try to be down around 185. I'll show you the progression. But here's my pic. There's no filter. There's no pump. This is me in the morning. This is what I look like.
Yep.
I don't want to mislead any of you guys. This is what I eat every day. It's possible for anybody. I don't eat any of this shit that these people eat.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. And like I said about the elimination thing, it's something that really, I think, who the hell was it that talked about it? It was like Dr. Hyman. Like, I'm into, like, it's funny because I started reading these books about like longevity and stuff like that. And they're like, you're probably reading this book because you got a bad diagnosis, blah, blah, blah. And we're here to tell you can do better. I'm like, no, I'm just a 30-year-old guy who wants to live fucking forever.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's funny because they all like start that way. Like I read about the cholesterol myth talking about like how they started pushing cholesterol medicine based on Ansel Keys' research. And it was, he fabricated half the fucking studies.
Yeah.
But like most people never read that until they get like some crazy diagnosis. But again, it's like, before you start taking it, read this book. And I'm like, I'm just reading these books out of, I don't know.
One thing, like the main thing that I wish I would have known a lot earlier, that I know now, is that, and this is why most people lose their motivation to go to the gym, right? Because they're there just for the vanity. They're there for the superficial reasons. They're there because they want to get a six-pack. Mm-hmm. They're there because they want to grow their chest, whatever, right? When you go there every single day to get rid of your stress, get rid of your anxiety, and that's what your focus is, the feeling, not the result. Everybody's chasing the result. So what happens? They get the result, then they're like, yo, bro, check this out.
I won.
Yo, look at me. And then 3 weeks later, your ass is at Pizza Hut. You know, you look like Jabba the Hutt.
Yep.
But you were the man 3 weeks ago, right? Now you're depressed, you're anxious, you're right back to where you were because you did it for the wrong reason. If you continue going, you continue walking in alignment with your highest self every day, with the water, with the meals, the training, the sleep, the cutting out the bullshit, you will have a six-pack faster than you could ever imagine. It's hard,
Yeah, absolutely.
but it's not as hard as people think. It's really not.
No.
And then if you have an addictive personality, like a lot of these guys do that I work with, once they commit and they get addicted to the process, it's game over because then they're just locked in.
Yeah.
That's what they're addicted to now.
And there's good addictions. I think there's certain people who be like, oh, any addiction's bad, but that's not true at all. Because I
disagree.
Like number one with the tracking your macros, like I become kind of addicted to it because I think it's cool. Like seeing where you're at, seeing what happens when you raise it, when you lower it.
Yeah.
And then I had this, the hell was it called? It was test your blood sugar, glucose monitor. I was wearing it, and you had to like tap your phone on it to check and see.
I remember when you were doing
that. But yeah, so I did 2 weeks.
Waiting for you to follow up with it.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Gotcha.
But like, I keep fucking addicted to it. I ate something, I'd be like, oh, let me fucking see. And like, it's just crazy.
You're wired like.
Oh, I'm fucking insane. And she'd just be, Megan be looking at me like, oh my god, she's like, I'm marrying this fucking guy.
Hey.
But you would hit it, and it would tell you, and you have a whole graph. And it'd be like, you could mark the food. And it was just like you can gamify those things. Like, there's nothing wrong with making that your addiction.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the way I am, where it's like, yeah, you guys can play your video games, you guys can whatever. That's cool. I'm addicted to this other stuff of like challenging myself. Like, my body is my video game.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I'm sure you understand what the fuck I'm saying, but I feel like a lot of people are like, that's really fucking weird. It's like, okay.
It's basically the key. Like we have the key.
Yep.
We have the blueprint for every single person out there to live a great life and feel great about themselves. And it's all about, eliminating, like you said, not just the diet, but the people and the things that, that's why it's so important to come up with a vision of yourself and who you see. You're not on this earth long. And that's where the confidence, you can't just come up with a vision right away, right? You need to start, it expands, over time, it just, you build off of it because your confidence grows and you want more. But it doesn't grow unless you're doing the things that you're supposed to do every day. Not giving into that voice, Yeah,
and it takes time to be able to do all that. And I know a lot of people are like, I can't do that. But you can. And if you have kids or if you have somebody who looks up to you doing that, you don't understand that it's changing their life.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend of mine who I work with who was getting close to becoming a diabetic. And he's like, I just changed my eating. He's down like 30, 40 pounds.
Nice.
And he has like a 4-year-old son. And I'm like, you're changing that kid's life because him and his wife are both doing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you just doing that changes your son's life because you already told me that you grew up in a family who ate whatever. Now that you understand food and you're going to change everything, you're working out and all that, what's your kid going to see?
Yeah.
He's going to see that. That's fucking momentum.
Yeah.
You're going to be the person who changes your whole family's trajectory.
Yeah.
And people will be like, that's not that big of a deal. Like, they see it more in the money standpoint, where like, oh, the person who made the family the billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But like, that's just as important, your body.
Yeah, even more so.
But
I think it's our duty, man, to be role models, to set the standard for ourselves and for other people. That's what men are supposed to do. We're supposed to be leaders at all times, not escapists.
No.
That's what everybody's trapped up in, escaping. I was the worst. I was one of them, so I know what it's like. And the other side of it is a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot more clear.
Yes.
Every relationship in your life is better.
Yep.
And it's going to take a long time, I feel like, for both of us to kind of push this onto people. And they're going to slowly either accept it or deny it, which is fine. But I just really hope that more guys start coming around to taking control of their life.
It's the same thing as, like, we use the same philosophy, right, as we do with our structured daily process.
Yep.
As we do with building BOSU, with building MTF. We're not doing it for the result, right? We're doing it because we're passionate about it.
Yep.
And we genuinely want to help people, and we're giving back. We're serving other people that, we're showing them what serves us best. And this is how we do it every day. We don't just go to the gym to try to get bigger muscles in you, man.
And sometimes that's selfish too. Like, it's almost selfish. Like, so if I help you with something that you didn't need, like I just started giving you whatever, like helped you with your workouts, helped you with this, and you're like, dude, you changed my life. You helped me do this. I'm almost selfish for doing that for you because you feel like you owe me. Like, obviously you don't owe me, but you feel like that fucking guy, like you're my biggest fan now because you're just like, dude, that guy changed my life.
Yeah.
And I feel great about it, but like people don't realize that giving, you're going to get the greatest fucking reward.
Well, what happens or what should happen is you change my life, I change your life. Now you do it for somebody else.
Yeah.
And it should be this contagious thing. And it's one person at a time, getting them to commit. And then especially the ones that were so bad, like I was, and if you can completely change, then people are like, yo, what'd you do?
Who's that guy? Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, and then when you tell them what you do, they're like, that's it?
Yeah, I feel like that's with anything though.
That's it, but like, try to do it every day now for the next 3 years.
Yeah, because that's where I'm at with like the business aspect of it, where it's like, it's going to take fucking 10 years
you
probably.
Want it to.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is like, with the workout, you understand
that, man.
But like,
it's all in the climb.
Yeah. Like, that's why you need people to look at as your role model. Like Andy Frisella literally talks about it all the fucking time, and he's like, dude, it took us 10 years. I didn't make any money for 10 years, and I'm like, that's fine. I could do that. But you need somebody to say that. Like with the workouts, when you say that to your client, you're like, dude, this is going to take you some months before you see results, but eventually you're going to fucking love it.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that, how would they know?
Yeah.
So like, you need more people. Back to the whole purpose, we need to just keep fucking saying it and screaming it, basically.
Remember I did the burpee challenge last year?
Yep.
Right? Somebody was doing it on their social media, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I'm in. And I did it every day for 90 days. I did 100 burpees, right? And it sucked, but I learned a lot about myself, and I grew during it. And it's happening now because I'm doing it with MTF with a couple guys. So what happened with me in particular is you develop a growth mindset, because it's like running. If you're not used to running, and when you first start out, it's hard to run a mile. So you start with a quarter mile, you work your way up. Same thing with burpees. Like when you first start, man, to try to bang out 20, I was like, like dying, right? So one of the guys that's doing it right now, he could barely do 10 at first. But then 2 days later, he was doing 12, then 15, then he's cranking 20. I got to a point last year where I was doing sets of 70. And that
70's fucking solid.
That is the when you really start feeling like a beast, when you see the progression from your commitment, it translates to all areas of your life, because you raised your standard for yourself and you have confidence and you see yourself progressing. Why wouldn't you want that in all areas of your life now? And that's why it's so important for me to have these challenges. And that's why I incorporate it now into what we do, to show people. And all it takes is one or two guys. I have 2 three guys that are doing it with me.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking like, yo, they love it, man. 'Cause
Oh, hell yeah.
It's more of a challenge. All these guys have busy ass schedules like me and you, kids, all that. So now to incorporate this little bit extra into your day, it's like, yo, they all said like, this is what I needed. The one dude, he's been doing a ice plunge for, I think, 112 days in a row now. First thing in the morning, like 34 degrees.
I'd like to. If the cold plunge wants to send me one,
I'm good, bro.
I'm in. If they send me one, I'll do it every day. I'll put it on a video for you.
I need a sauna. I could go from a sauna to a cold plunge. I can't wake up and hop in cold. I just can't.
I did.
I ain't doing it.
I did a cold plunge. It was part of. Have you ever heard of Wim Hof?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
that's where this kid got the idea from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my boy is like really into the whole spiritual part of it, into the cold plunge. Like he has his own. He doesn't have the cold plunge, but he has like the one you buy from Tractor Supply and fills it with ice.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, we're gonna do that, and it's also like this breathing exercise thing that you do, and I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I need to be all in on all of these things. Open your mind up. It's like a meditative thing. I'm like, cool. So we go, we sit down, you listen, and then it teaches you breathing and how it's this whole breathing exercise that you go through, and they're like guiding you through it. You think it was like 5 minutes because you like kind of see colors, you get relaxed, like everything like is released from you. And they're like, so how long do you guys think that was? You're like, 10 minutes. It was an hour. And you were like breathing in, holding your breath, releasing, and it's all the Wim Hof method. Like it's through his thing, so he taught all of them.
Yeah.
But like people have like spiritual journeys through it and like see things and release energy and just feel like totally different. And then you do a cold plunge. But it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I recommend that to anybody too, because it's a really good way to realize that you're in control, that you can release things other ways. Meditation, yoga, cold plunge, sauna, all of those things are all good. And there's different ways to release the
It's all part of my daily process. The meditation twice a day, cold shower I've been doing every day for the last 3 years. Hot bath with Epsom salt after every workout. So I come home from the gym, hot bath, Epsom salt, right into a cold shower.
Oh shit!
I've done it every day for 3 years, and it's just I make the bath hot enough so that when you're in the bath and it's hot enough. Number one, you're recovering because of the Epsom salt and the hot water, but it's stress relief too because it's so hot. You're not thinking about shit, and then you hop right into the cold shower and same thing. It's cold. You're focused on the cold, so it's relieving your stress. You don't even realize it. And then when you couple that with the meditation, I do box breathing. It's Navy SEAL breathing. So you do 4 seconds in through your nose, you hold for 4, then you let it out through your nose, exhale through your nose for 4 seconds, and you just keep repeating that. And you can have a mantra if you want, like a word or something you repeat to yourself, but usually after a minute or two, you get into a sedative state to where your thoughts have just slowed down.
Yep.
So why that is so beneficial, and a lot of people don't stick to it just like they do the gym because they say, it didn't work for me. Well, you only did it for a week, dick. Like, stick to it a little bit. Have some commitment. Because what it ends up doing is it gives you power, I believe, over your subconscious, over that voice.
Over that bitch voice.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you need that. It all comes literally down because like when I say it's the simplest thing in the world, people don't get it, but we're both saying the same thing. Stack your small wins. They lead to bigger wins. They make you keep winning compared to giving into your bitch voice. The less you give into the bitch voice, the more you win.
Yeah.
And then people are like, it's not that simple.
But dude, like if you look at people like Goggins, he had the loudest bitch voice ever.
And a great story to go with it.
Correct. So my story, I kind of used him as inspiration. And I use this with guys that I coach now because you need to create a character that you become. Because Mike Brennan, I had to bury him, right? He was terrible, man. He was weak. He was dependent. He had vices. He was angry. He was anxious. So now when I wake up every day, I go into character. I'm Michael Thomas, and that's what you have to become. You got to create this character that has a list of core values that you live by, and you don't break them for anybody. And when you do them long enough and you do them consistently, you become that character. That's who you are now.
You just have to make sure you pick the right qualities because I feel like a lot of people do what you just said, create a character.
Yeah.
But they're creating a character to get liked. You have to create a character
No.
that you like, that
Yeah.
you want to be, that you want to live by. Not create the character that people are going to give you likes.
No.
And people are going to.
No.
But you know what I mean?
No, 100. No,
Yeah.
This isn't acting.
No, but that's not what it is.
And for reals, this is for your own peace of mind every day, so that you're not escaping anymore. You're jumping into character every day, and you're becoming this person that is the best version of yourself. It's not like, you see all these different people popping up on Instagram that are characters.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying it in the sense of, like, people will think, like, okay, it's a similar thing, but I want the qualities that people are going to like. Fuck what people are going to like. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to let people know, like, they're like, oh,
Be
okay.
yourself.
Yeah, be the best version of yourself that you're going to be happy, live with, be confident in. You don't want to be the confident person because you have 45 or 45,000 likes or 45 million likes. Be the one that you're going to fucking like. Fuck the 45 million, worry about the one.
And that's why it's so important to become in control of that voice, because when you're in control of yourself all the time and you have discipline, you don't care about what anyone thinks about you anymore, because you love yourself.
Yep.
So you could give two shits. Okay, I'm going to make a post right now. Some people are going to like it, some aren't. Fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah, this is for me.
This is for me, and this is for me to help you. But it's the people that are the most judgmental are the ones that haven't figured themselves out, or they think they have, and they're kind of like preaching from up here. Nobody has it all figured out.
No.
Nobody. Every day is a new day to either win or lose the battle against yourself. And the only way that I win the battle every day is with my structured process. If I went away if I go to vacation, nothing changes. I have to wake up at the same time. I have to eat clean food. I have to take care of myself properly, because if I don't, my mind gets the best of me. My anxiety, my social anxiety, my weirdness, all that introvertedness, it all comes back when I lose my self-confidence, because I let go of that. Oh, you know what? I can just eat whatever I want today. And some people can. I can't. I lose my confidence, and then in turn it creates anxiety for me. And then I'm just like, I avoid things that are hard.
Yeah, if I have the cheat meal, then it's like, well, I'm going to be bloated, I know, for like 2 days because of it. I might as well have ice cream tonight, because, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that I'm going to do that. So I'm like, I just can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I would be the addict who continues to go with that. I mean, obviously for me, it would be like one night and the next day I'm going to be like, all right, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
And then a couple months goes by and you do it again. But that's why it's just easier just to stay on course. Once you get on course, stay on course.
Yes. It's who you are. It's your new character. So why would you break character if it makes you feel so good? That's the thing. Like, for me, it's not a chore. It doesn't hurt to do any of the stuff that I have to do, other than the wake up, because there's multiple days when the alarm goes off and I'm just like, fuck, man, just one day, But like, another thing very powerful that's changed my life, because I committed to something that I said I was going to do to myself, because I used to fall apart in the wintertime. So last summer I started going to the track in June on Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, I'm making this non-negotiable. I'm coming to this damn track every Saturday, Sunday. I don't care what the conditions are. I went up there in the winter when it was 6 degrees and 20-mile-per-hour winds. I went up there injured on crutches. I never missed a day. So I don't miss anymore because of that with anything that I do in my day, because I keep that promise to myself. And that is Michael Thomas.
Yep.
He keeps his promises to himself. The old guy would have all these goals, and he would tell people, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and he wouldn't do shit.
Yeah, and then you justify why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that.
Now you
and
do
you feel
it,
good
and
about it.
I'm going to be coming up on a year anniversary of going to the track every day. Man, I can't wait. I'm going to feel like I climbed Everest, because there were so many days I woke up when the rain is just pounding on the side of the house, pounding, and I'm like, fuck, man. And it took everything in me to get there, but once I did it, There was a couple times where I videoed myself doing push-ups up there with my shirt off because I literally felt like
You get that crazy rush.
Oh,
Those were always the best.
incredible.
Yeah, those are the best workouts. The ones
incredible.
that
And
you
now
don't
some
wanna do
people might view that as, oh, look at this muscle weirdo doing push-ups in the rain. You don't understand the power of commitment to yourself, especially when the universe is testing you. Oh, Mike, yeah, you're going Sunday? Well, it's going to be minus 20 and it's going to be snowing. Okay, bring it.
I don't give a fuck.
I started looking ahead in the weather on my phone to see how cold it was going to be. And if it was really cold, I was looking forward to it because it was a challenge. When it was warm, I'm like, this is too fucking easy.
Yeah, it's like, I could do this. This
Right.
is nothing.
It's too easy.
Yeah, summer's going to be easy.
Yeah. So it's little things like that I continue to do, and that I definitely recommend that everybody does to test themselves, just to commit to something small and never break your word to yourself. And when you do, you're that's what self-confidence is. It's just be honest with yourself and keeping your word.
Yeah, and it's the hardest thing to do, but
Yes.
you can't lie to you.
You can't.
That's like a big thing that, like, I feel like that's where a lot of like people who have their addictions and stuff,
They lie.
they fucking lie like motherfuckers, and it's like, dude,
They can't
see. Yeah,
They're powerless.
Yeah.
See, there's addicts are powerless. Whether it's food, drugs, alcohol, whatever. They get to a certain point where they're completely powerless. So for them to be able to change is like moving mountains. You have to, unfortunately, deal with enough pain to say you have enough and you want to change. Unfortunately, some never get to see that.
yeah. I just don't get the whole where it's like, how do you think anybody believes anything you're fucking saying at this point? And you're just like, I don't even want, like, you don't even want to be around some of the people anymore because you're just like, I
I
know,
don't.
yeah. But even the people who are close to you, and you start to feel bad, but after a while, you're just like, dude, you're just draining my energy, and I can't hear another fucking story. I can't hear another one of your stories.
You can't fake energy. You can't. You know somebody's energy just being around them. You know how they talk to themselves, how they treat themselves, how they act, how they conduct themselves, just by their mannerisms and what they talk about. And I just, like you said, when I'm around people like that, it's aggravating.
Yeah, you're like, I can't wait for this to be over.
I need to be around real people that do real shit, that are really getting after it, that that we're just like-minded, because we're overcoming every day. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're overcoming. We're not trying to be better than you. We're trying to overcome us, and in the process, we just keep getting better and better and better.
On the energy thing, have you ever read the book Power vs. Force?
No.
So Patrick David recommended it. Power vs. Force. So basically, through the book, it was talking about different energy levels. And what really made sense to me was, so it went like 300, 400, 500, and on and on.
Yeah.
But it was saying when you're in one energy level, the energy level above, you can't see, like when you're on the one above looking down, you don't see things the same way. Your perspective is so different. So like that was one of the things that really helped click for me, because like I said with that, it's like you're thinking in your head, like, how do you think that you're still fucking lying and anybody's believing anything you're saying? But they're on a different energy level.
Yeah.
Their perspective's different, and they just have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you read these things and it connects in your mind, because even as I'm sure you see the same way, as you like see out of the matrix, so to speak, it's like your energy level increased. And now you look at something, you're like, why did I do that? Why was I like that? Why did I believe that? And it's just,
That's how you were vibrating at the
yeah,
time.
your vibration is so fucking
It's
real.
everything, man.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that book. I'm gonna read it again soon, just because of how
I'm gonna
good it
check it
was.
out.
Yeah.
It's important to feed not just your body but your mind with the just like, for me, like I could read. I'm not really good at retaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me to read a book and then be able to tell you about like a lot of the stuff in the book, I can't really do that. I would have to read it like 4 times. And that's why I like reading like quotes and positive affirmations that are smaller, especially first thing in the morning, because they hit me. Instead of like trying to focus on reading all these pages early in the day, that doesn't work well for me. I have to hear it or I have to read it, and it's got to hit me quick. And those positive, like quick hitters, those get me in the morning, man. That's why it's on my coffee mug.
Yep.
It's the first thing that I'm putting in my mind. It's like positive reinforcement because our brains are naturally like negative and they turn against us.
Hell yeah.
So the more we're intentionally feeding them this stuff and the reading and the books and the positive material and getting rid of all the shit, the better we become and the more in control we are.
And it's just another thing that's a habit. I hear so many people who are like, oh, I don't like to read. I was like, I never liked to read in high school. I hated it. Now I have like a library of books because I've decided that I'm a person who reads books, who wants to become better and learn. I decided that that's who I'm going to be. So I do it.
Well, whether you're reading or you're watching, if you're not applying, what's the point? You know, so you read, you apply.
Yeah.
I listen, I read, I watch, I apply. I watch guys like Goggins. I take little pieces from him, take little pieces from this guy. I add them all to my character. And they did the same thing for themselves by watching other people.
Hell yeah.
We all influence. We're all connected. That's what I'm learning, man. We are all connected through energy and through vibration and frequency. I believe in it 100%. And I'm starting to believe it even more now with this law of attraction thing and really putting it into practice and seeing things starting to happen that like I never could imagine happening in my life.
I think like, so I listen to a lot of still like Bob Proctor's like old seminars and stuff like that. And he's like, where the secret, I'm sure you watched the movie The Secret, read the book. He's like, where that goes wrong is it's like you have to apply the things. You don't just wish for whatever and then it comes. It's like you're working, you're thinking about
action.
It's in your reticular activating system, which for someone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically, you can think about a car. Like if there's a car that you want or a car that you really like you see a Tesla and you're like, oh, I really like Teslas. Now you're going to see them everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what your reticular activating system is. It's in your mind and it's going to pick up on it. So now you're going to see it. Out of the millions of things that you're processing, you're always going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
And that's why you put the right things in your mind.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
And I see that too with a lot of people who watch a lot of TV. You're putting a lot of negativity and a lot of whatever, it's programming. It's called television programming.
Right.
You're putting a lot of those programs into your mind and now you believe it.
Well, most of it is just an escape for people.
And it's okay for like an hour, say I'll give you, but like when you're watching 5 hours of TV and it's all like reality or like whatever,
listen,
that's not
if
real.
you're in a great place and you're happy with your life and everything's great, and you don't have any of these issues that a lot of people are dealing with now, more power to you, right? But in most cases, that's not the case. You know, you're not. If you're binging on Netflix all weekend, we ain't the same.
It's true.
We're just not.
Yeah.
I'll knock you.
No, yeah.
Don't judge me, man. I'm getting after it. Even more so on the weekend.
Yeah, there's some times where we'll watch some shows and stuff, but like it can't be like, I don't want to, that's another thing. That's why like my circle is so small. I don't know how to talk to you about the game or the this or that. Like I don't really pay attention to it. So it's like, if we're not talking about stuff like this, we're not talking about working out, nutrition, business.
I stopped watching sports in the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't really watch.
I was completely turned off. And I used to be the guy that could tell you everybody on the Phillies lineup and their batting average and this, that, and the other. I don't know shit, dude. And guess what? I don't care. I didn't even watch the fucking Eagles Super Bowl.
I did watch the Super Bowl.
Well, actually, I watched the first quarter and I went to bed. I'm like, we got this one. We're good. It was kind of like the presidential election in 2020. I'm like, this is in the back. Oh, just kidding.
Got him.
Just kidding. We got all these mail-in ballots over here.
But like, yeah, it's just funny because if you don't have those people around you when other people want to talk about this, that, or the other, it just you kind of feel like you're an outsider because you don't have the same interests. Yeah. So that's why if your circle's small, man, just enjoy your small circle. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Find a way to build it within our communities.
Because you're protecting your energy.
Yeah, and it's like there's communities out there who are trying to grow, who are all about these things.
Yeah.
You just got to find them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the most important thing for kids, that are at that age of like 18, 19, 20, 21, trying to figure themselves out. When I was that age, a lot of people were going to college. A lot of people had full rides. They had it all figured out. I didn't have shit figured out. I hated school. Hated it. And I had no clue what I wanted to do. And I just made things 20 times worse and harder for myself because I didn't focus on myself. You know, I was a people pleaser. I was a crowd guy. I was just trying to be everywhere and do everything that everyone else was doing. And I think unfortunately that's like a part of life that a lot of people figure out and you have to go through.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Before you're like, yo, that's it. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not here that long. I'm figuring myself out, and I'm going to be a badass.
Or you never figure it out.
You just never figure it out. Because every single person has the power to become David Goggins or whoever. Every single person does. Everyone.
And you don't have to follow everyone else to college if that's not your path.
No.
And like, I remember that path not being my path, and I was like, I'll go to community college, but like, I'm going to work, and I'm going to do this.
That's
My
what I
fucking
did.
own guidance counselor was like, oh, don't become one of those losers. Like, you're the guidance counselor.
Wow.
Then your
Guidance
friend,
right
yeah,
there.
exactly. And then your friends like say some stuff here and there, but then now I put all the work in. I'm doing well. I don't have the loans, and it's like, oh, you're lucky, and I'm like,
Lucky.
motherfucker.
That's a funny word.
You had someone paying your fucking tuition for 4 years at $40,000 a year. I was working.
Yeah.
And like, maybe that was your path. That's cool. But like, you talked down on my path. But I was confident enough to know that I was going to accomplish what the fuck I wanted to accomplish. So I just kept on my path and knew it would work out. I didn't even see it going the way it's going. I had like a decent path that I was like, this is cool. This is what I want to do. And I was confident enough to do it. But like, when you're that way, then other things can come in and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to transition this way a little bit. But if you're not confident in yourself, you're never going to do it.
Yeah. And you know, similar to what I'm doing now with MTF, with the coaching, right? I had to go through all my crap in life to be able to get to a point where I changed myself, I healed myself, I was taught a system, I applied it on myself every day, I mastered it, now I can teach it. Now I can show other people how to heal themselves from everything that I struggled with. And that can be everyone's purpose. Whatever your trauma was, whatever you struggle with, if you focus on your personal development, you're going to overcome it. And then you can teach people what works for you, and you can make a living doing it. Once you get comfortable with this, and this used to be my biggest fear. 3 years ago, I couldn't even talk into a camera. I hated it. Now I'm sitting here doing a podcast. I still don't like doing these podcasts. I still get like a little like uneasy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like, yo, we're going to do this podcast. Like, I can't wait. This is my jam. I'm just like, my brain, the way it's wired, it just speeds up.
You have 10,000 things you're like,
You
this
saw
is
me
on
in
my
the
mind.
gym today.
You're
Like,
in your
I have
zone.
to go in there and crank, bust out burpees and really focus on my workout to get that extra energy, that anxiety out of me so I can come here and be calm. Because if I don't do that, like the old me, I would have to drink to be able to do this to slow my mind down. Now the constant water throughout the day, the healthy food, the training, it levels me out. If I don't do all that stuff, my brain just goes and I can't stop it.
Yeah.
I can't. And it took me so long to figure out how to control it. And I know that's what everyone struggles with.
Oh, without a doubt.
They just can't get out of their way. They can't get out of their way, and it's usually because of who they surround themselves with.
Yep.
And it's the trap that they're in that
It's
it's hard to break.
Learn to love being alone. Accept that nobody has life figured out. I think that's one of the things too that kind of in your early 20s you see your parents as actual people. Because growing up, you just see your parents as your parents, and adults have life figured out.
Yeah.
You hit your early 20s and you start to realize, especially as you go into a
Question.
career. I went into a career with a lot of older men who were getting divorced and this, that, and the other. And there were a lot of guys, everybody's still figuring out. Nobody has everything figured out. In 2017, do you think you'd be on this path with MTF?
Right.
No. Do you
Never.
know where it's going to go in 5 more years? You have no idea.
Right. And that's
But
the
you
fun
just,
part.
that's what I'm saying. But like, I was having this conversation with a kid in the sauna like 2 months ago, and I was like, dude, nobody has life figured out. Just work hard and adjust as you go. That's all you can do.
You know why people struggle so much is because when they face some adversity, they break. They break
Yep.
like twigs. Like, that's what I used to do all the time from the littlest shit. Whether it was good or bad, I had to celebrate. Or I had to, if it was good, I had to celebrate. If it was bad, I had to escape. You know, so people are caught up in that trap of responding to their emotions instead of remaining in control of them with a process.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody's just 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
I think it's the same reason probably relationships are the way they are, because like you could just go right on an app and it's like, oh, you said this, I don't really like that, I'm going to go be with someone else, and you can be with someone else in like 3 days.
If people who focus on their fitness, and especially people that do it together in relationships, the percentage of these people that stay together and grow together is like tenfold over people that don't.
Makes complete
Why?
sense.
Because fitness teaches you delayed gratification. It's hard to build a physique the way that you want it to. So when you remain in alignment every day with your diet, your training, your water, your no shit food, all that, and you do it consistently for a long period of time, it's delayed gratification. It's hard. Relationships are hard. Communicating your feelings, your emotions, and all that shit in a positive way is hard. But you're used to hard. So it becomes your normal. So regardless of your emotional state, you're still going to be able to communicate with your loved one and be the best version of yourself in your relationship, because you're creating the best version of yourself with your daily process. It carries over into your relationship, your career, everything. It's not just fitness. It's the creation of your life, of yourself, and you create it every day with your fitness and what you consume. So by the people that are not in control, they're disrespectful to themselves and other people.
Yeah, if
They're
you don't respect
straight
yourself,
up.
you're not going to be in a respectful relationship with your
Hurt
partner.
people hurt people. The damn school shootings that keep taking place. The last 4, 3 of them were trans people. That's not a gun issue, man. That's a mental health issue.
Yeah, well, nothing's
That's
really
a
a gun
mental
issue. Yeah,
health.
it's never a gun issue.
There's not
It's
one
just-
single NRA member that shot up a school in this country. Not one. You know, it's out of control. And these people all lack the same thing, what we're talking about. They're not trying to get control of their life. They're out of control. And then they end up hurting other people because they can't control themselves.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the overlords want to blame it on the guns so they can have more control.
Yeah, it's the easiest solution on top of that.
Yeah.
To find the problem and just throw something
Listen,
back.
man, competent Americans, they just want to protect themselves.
Yeah.
That's all. They don't want to go out. They want to go to the gun range for gun therapy with their boys, or, you know, go out to the field and hunt. You know, that's what real Americans do with their firearms. They don't go shooting shit and people. You know, that's ridiculous. Mentally stable people that protect themselves and take care of their minds and their bodies, they don't think about hurting other people. It's not part of it's all you focus on is bettering yourself. And in the process, you want to better everyone else.
And protecting yourself. Like, it's a good thing to know that you have protection. If somebody else has a gun that comes into your property, it's good to know that I have the ability to protect my family.
Yes.
Anybody who's in my house. There's nothing wrong with
It's
that.
common sense.
Yeah. It's just so weird that it's like...
Yeah, no, listen, if I want 18 AR-15s, this is my house.
Yeah.
And if I can legally get these guns and I have a clean record, don't fucking tell me what guns to buy.
Exactly.
It's crazy, man.
What do you think are probably the 3 most important qualities for a man? Just like 3 qualities. I guess probably discipline, like something like that. I guess discipline's probably a main one. Discipline, which would help
For a
you.
man.
Yeah, for a man.
Number 1 for a man is structure.
Structure. So
Number 1.
can discipline and structure be the same thing
Structure creates discipline,
or no? Okay.
right? Because when you lay out a structure for your day, and this is what I have to do, boom, 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 and you do it consistently regardless of how you feel, that creates discipline. Early wake up. I don't want to wake up. I do it. Discipline. First meal. Don't feel like eating this. I just drove past Chick-fil-A and that fucking smell, man. Damn. But I got to eat my meal. Okay, number 2. So that is discipline. So that structure is absolutely number 1, hands down in my mind. Because men without structure are not men. They're not. They're dependent little babies that can't think for themselves, that are trapped in their minds.
Because you think about a structure
they're
is built from the foundation, brick by brick.
They're controlled by everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't control themselves. That's where it all starts, with structure.
But I'm saying, look at structure as what is a structure. Like a building wise, it's built from the foundation, so
Yep.
it's the most important part.
Yep.
Stacking the brick by brick. If the
100%.
bottom row of bricks aren't good, the second row of bricks aren't going to be good.
Yep.
So your structure is going to lead to your discipline.
Yep.
What else would you say?
I was leaning towards habits, but habits
I think they kind of fit in that
are
bucket.
naturally created through the discipline.
I think self-confidence might be the next one, because that your structure is going to
It's
create
a byproduct.
yourself. Yeah, it's a byproduct, but your self-confidence is going to allow you to be true to yourself. Is going to allow you to speak up, which is a problem now. You have to speak up when something bothers you, when something doesn't seem right. Question everything. Everything.
You can't and you won't question things if you don't have self-confidence in
Exactly.
yourself. You're going to be the yes guy, the nice guy, the agree with things, no backbone, because you don't do it for yourself. When things are hard, you choose easy. When things get hard for us, we stay with the hard and the discomfort, so we don't break. And that's important for men. We don't break.
But yeah, and I'm just saying, like, the question everything. Like, I mean, everything you're doing. Even once you get into that habit, okay, is working out every day good? Well, it's leading me to feel better about myself. Okay, that's a good thing. This eating, you know what? I'm eating this thing. Should I be eating this thing? Maybe I'll eliminate it for a little bit. Okay, this person in my life. After I hang out with them, I feel like, shit, you know what? Maybe let's stop hanging out with them for a month and see how I feel. So I think questioning everything is so important. Debate, question everything too. If we're having a debate and I don't agree with something you say, well, why did you say that? Why do you think that? I'm either going to agree with you or disagree with you, but question it. Don't just throw my opinion at you or be scared to state my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important for a man to be able to do, because I know at times when I wasn't completely confident, I wasn't willing to question things just because I was like, maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe I don't. And really,
It's a lack of confidence.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, the fuck difference?
Now you say it with conviction, this is how I feel, this is why I feel this way. And if you oppose it, that's okay too. We don't need to argue. I don't like having political debates with people with opposing views because it gives me like anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Because these people get angry instead of just debating and having a conversation with a level-minded person, and that's why, like, I really only discuss political stuff with like-minded individuals that are even-tempered, that I'm not gonna like get myself, because I get angry like quick. So like for me, I try to avoid confrontation as much as possible.
I will come at that a little bit by saying, like, obviously out in public, whatever, but if like there's 10 of us here and we're all somewhat associates and I disagree with you on something, there's no reason why, like, we could have a decent debate.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you need to be able to question in your workplace, question what's going on. In your friend group, question what's going on. If it starts as a debate and it turns into a screaming match, guess what? I don't want to fuck with that person. Yeah, you don't do it again, but just sometimes it'll expand your view too. Like, maybe we'll have a debate because I completely disagree with you, but then you'll say something and I'll be like, even if it's later, like, actually, you know what? Let me read on that a little more. Maybe he is saying something that makes sense. Or I disagree, but at least I see your point of view.
Yeah.
We don't have to agree, but understand their point of view a little bit.
Yeah, well, you have to respect
Yes,
people.
that's a problem.
And
today.
it's very difficult to respect other people if you don't respect yourself, because you're so used to giving in to your emotions, so when you're in the heat of the moment, that level of respect for another person just goes out the window because you don't respect yourself. So if I notice that somebody is a little agitated or whatever, I'm gonna walk.
It's not worth that.
I'm gonna walk away because I'm protecting my energy and I'm protecting your nose.
Yeah, I'm just saying at work or like in school, in class, in whatever
Yeah.
you're in, be willing to question things, even if you're wrong or even if
Yeah.
whatever. And then if it turns to that, then it's like, okay, you're right. You can have your point of view, but like
Yeah,
be willing to
be
see
the better person.
Yeah,
And-
accept that people are going to have their own things, have the respect. So I think respect should be a top priority. Respect for others and respect for yourself.
Yes.
But I just really want to get across, like, you have to be willing to question everything, especially today. Question everything you see online.
Yeah.
Question everything. Any other major things that should be on that list?
The structure, the discipline, the habits, it's everything is just, it's really, really simple when you break it down, man. You're trying to be, how does any person become the best version of themselves? Number one, they have to stop comparing themselves to anyone else and where they're at in their life. Whether you're 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You're at where you're at for a reason. And that's another thing that I've learned recently in studying the universal laws is that life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. So when you change your perception on things, maybe something bad happened to you, flip the switch on that. Use that adversity to your advantage. Use that negative energy. Instead of taking it out against yourself, you use it for yourself. You fuel your workout. When my anxiety's high, man, I have the best workouts I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because that's where I release it. And
Or
then
if
when
you have
I'm
a bad day at work or
gone, I'm
something.
just like, when I'm done, it's gone.
All is good.
Yes.
Until the next.
Do you ever see people leaving the gym, like, pissed?
I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah,
it.
like you go to the gym, you get a nice workout in, you get a good sweat going, man. You're feeling good. Your endorphins are going. You got all your juices flowing. Like
You're in that
that's
flow
why
state, yeah.
we do it. You go to the liquor store to get rid of your shit. You go to the bar, you pop a pill. You feel good for a little bit, but when it's done, you feel like shit. And now you're lesser than you were before when you started.
Yeah.
And you do that repeatedly, and then you become a disrespectful person to other people because you lost respect for yourself, because you lost your control. So don't feel a certain way about me because of how I conduct myself, because I'm in control. This is a learned habit. It's habitual construction of a man.
Yeah, building a superior you takes time. That's why we wanted to create that.
You know what? And I think another thing we need to throw in too, which is huge, is number one, and this is where everybody is lacking in self-awareness. Self-awareness is everything. You got to realize what your weaknesses are, not your strengths, your weaknesses. And then once you start building your discipline, you start attacking your weaknesses, not all at once.
Oh, no, yeah, you can't.
If you smoke cigarettes, you smoke weed, you drink alcohol, you pop pills, and a whole bunch of other shit, right? You're not going to try to get rid of all of it at one time. You're going to fail.
And go to the gym.
Right.
And eat healthy.
You're going to fail. So you chip away at all those, and then you get to a certain point in your journey where the rebuilding process is now going to just be a forward progression, because all that bad shit is out of your system. But you can't really start walking in alignment with yourself and get your energy where it needs to be consistently until you do all this stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's back to the first thing, stack small wins.
Yeah, every day, 7 days a week, and that's like, people think it's crazy, but like guys that have battled addiction and trauma and shit their whole life, you have to. Because that one day you take your foot off the gas and you don't do something to make yourself proud that you overcame that voice on that day, the devil's right there. He's right there, ready to. He attacks when your willpower is the lowest and when you feel really good. When everything is great, he's coming in, man.
Have you read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill?
It was one of the first books that my coach recommended to me that it blew my mind.
I listened to it. Did you ever hear it on audiobook?
No.
It's actually really good on audiobook because the
check
devil
it out.
has a different voice.
Yeah.
And it's really good, but like you listen to it and you're like, I was listening to it on a plane, and I'm like, holy fuck.
It's creepy, man.
It is, because you see yourself doing those things in the past, like,
Yeah.
and you still catch yourself like, oh, I see you. The drifter in you, that comes out.
Yeah.
But if you haven't read that book is,
It's phenomenal.
yeah, it definitely should be on
You will,
everyone's.
and it'll give you self-awareness to yourself and be able to, you know, really, we're just trying to fine-tune ourselves.
Yep.
You know, and become aware with what is taking us out of alignment with feeling good every day. You know, so you look back to your week, you had a couple days that you were off. What happened? What caused it? You know, and that's what you need to zone in on. The first thing that I do every morning is journal. And I journal my thoughts, but I journal what happened the day before and like certain things that would come up. You know, and that helps me focus on the day ahead and be prepared.
Yeah, and writing it down really helps.
Because
you
if
too.
you're just
Yeah.
waking up, living, going to sleep, waking up, living, going to sleep, journaling helps you become self-aware. It helps you realize like certain things that are happening and how you can, you know, how you can stop them going forward.
Do you do it at night and in the morning, or just in the morning?
It depends. It's morning is ritual.
Okay.
But nighttime, sometimes I'll do it on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, nighttime's just
in my
my
notebook.
thing. It works better for me. I do it at night. I do that, and then I make my things I have to do the next day.
Nice.
And then I'll try and read before I go to bed instead of watching something. But yeah, I've heard different ways. So
One-
whichever way works better for people. It's,
One thing that I've done over the course of like the last 3 to 4 months is I always used to go to bed with my phone, and I would fall asleep just aimlessly scrolling or whatever, reading emails, texts, anything. I leave my phone when I hit the bed. My phone's on the dresser. It's turned down. It's off.
Yep.
You know, it's not off, but you know, like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not.
It,
I'm
mine's
not
on
on my
silent.
phone.
I'm not taking any calls. I don't care.
I'm going to bed. When I hit the bed, I'm going to bed. There's no, the phone is off, and that's been another thing that I just cut out. That I realize it's not good for me.
Yeah,
not.
the TV gets us every now and then, but I try to read before we go to sleep because obviously
Yeah.
the blue light isn't good for you. I'm even a little like a 5-year-old kid. I bought a book light for my book because Megan, I mean, she'll lay down and fall asleep. Where me, I'm like I'm still going.
Same.
So at least if I open a book, a couple pages in, especially you just have that tiny little reading light. Something
Yeah.
about 5-10 pages in, I'm like I'm done.
Nice. Yeah.
But instead of watching a show where you watch like an action show, then you try and go to sleep, well, now you have to unwind from that. Plus, now you might dream about that compared to you reading something personal development wise. Your mind's unwinding already. It really puts you into that better sleep. You wake up feeling better.
She loves watching shows. I hate it. I can't focus. Like I really can't. Like I would prefer to just read a book, you know, or watch a YouTube video or a podcast.
Yeah.
So to me, I associate it with like escape. You know, I try to do it as much as I can
Yeah.
for her, but I hate it. You know, I need to be like constantly like feeding my.
Oh my God, yeah.
my-
I'm the same
my
way.
stuff,
I'm
man.
driving, I'm listening to YouTube videos no matter what
Yeah.
it is. If it's health, if it's fitness, if it's financial
You
stuff.
know what's
there's a lot
great
of
about
financial.
it too? It's because it's a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
When you listen, I'm sure the same thing happens to you. When I listen to some of these speakers, man, like I get goosebumps. Yeah, I get fired up. Like it makes me like certain things they say, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like if you're just listening to music all day, that's not happening.
I listen to YouTube motivational videos as I work out.
Nice. Yeah,
I've been doing it probably for like 6 years.
love it.
I started paying for YouTube as soon as they allowed you to do it on the lock screen
Yeah,
because of that.
yeah.
Oh my God, some of those channels, and they just mix in the different people that I already like.
Basu lifestyle, workout, motivational videos, man.
Yeah, I mean they just pull together like other people's podcasts, but it's really fucking. I love it.
Yeah.
I'll send you some ones that really
Please
get me in the
do.
zone because it's like one of the
You
channels.
know who fires me up is Greg Plitt. I don't know if you know who Greg
Yeah,
Plitt is.
yeah. I got
He
into him
passed
a
away.
long time ago.
Greg was a big inspiration of mine years ago before he passed.
Yeah, he's like if you YouTube him, I'll still listen to some of
I
his
do.
talking about it. The one channel is called Ben Lyon Scott, and he just takes other like podcasts like Andy, PBD, like everybody you could possibly think of, and just crams them into like 5 minutes with background music. Oh my God.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it. And you leave the gym and you're just so like focused. Sometimes I'll be like writing things out on my phone that I want to talk about or like do
Yeah.
because of that.
Right. Yeah.
Your life changes
Inspires
when you
you.
start putting different things into it compared to listening to, like, sometimes you like some rap music, some this music, some that music, but like sometimes that's killing your energy too.
Yeah.
That's what that book actually talks about, Power vs. Horse. It was talking about checking your energy level after you listen to like rap music or sad music. It brings your energy level down.
Yeah.
No matter if you're thinking rap's like hyping you up, it really ain't hyping you the fuck up.
Yeah. Country music's good to listen to.
Yeah, the right stuff. I mean, the ones that
Yes.
are talking about drinking beer and your girl leaving you, those ones might not get you ready for the gym. But yeah, no, I love country music.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that that kind of hits it for today. I don't want to give them too much. We need them to come back for more.
I'm
So,
always ready.
Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back, but this episode is one for the fucking books.
Yes, sir.